Yo, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9. It's just a joke. Come on.
Don't shoot. Don't
shoot.
Hey, it's vrlink here, and today I'm going to be giving you my honest review on Cave Digger 2.
As always, I want to give a big shout out to VR Kiwi for giving me the opportunity to review this game. But as you all know, this will be an honest review. Now, let's jump into Cave Digger 2. So I'm going to be honest, when I first jumped into Cave Digger 2, it was glitching hard. It may be because I was recording at the same time, I have no idea why, but I couldn't even use any of my hands. My hands are not where they're supposed to be. Like my hand is stuck in the seat. I don't know why. And it won't let me lift my hand up. The crazy thing is, I was actually playing multiplayer, and when I asked my friend who was playing the same game with me if he was having the same problem, he was like, no, it's working perfectly fine for me. So that's when I decided to just stop recording for the time being to see if that would help, and I think it kind of did. Let me try turning off record. Maybe that's what's slowing me. But now, after all that, the game was working perfectly. I was able to go through the rest of the tutorial with no problem. And my friend was too, until a certain point where the game just crashed every time he got out of the headset, and he had to restart the tutorial like 3 times. For some reason for him, the game was not saving, and every time he would get out of his headset to do something and go back in, it would just restart or crash. As for me, like I said before, everything was working perfectly. Until now, when I'm actually editing the video and I realized it did not record any of the sound. But honestly, I don't think this is any of the game's fault, because this happened to me before on Blade and Sorcery, so it just might be the Quest 2. So if you're wondering why there's no sound from the game going forward, it's because of this. But now let's get back to the tutorial. The tutorial itself was good, and it felt like you were just playing the actual game. It does a great job of telling you the small mechanics that get built upon further in the game. I also feel like it smudges the line between the game and the tutorial perfectly. And I'm not gonna lie, I started to feel the addicting aspects of this game in the tutorial. If you like co-op RPGs and you're very task orientated, you're going to love this game. The gameplay reminded me a lot of No Man's Sky, but just a lot less complicated. And since I just mentioned gameplay, let's talk about the tools you get in this game and the gameplay. So the first tool that you're going to be getting in this game are these really cool gloves. With these gloves, you're able to create a fire, light torches, use telekinesis, check your health, and see how much money you have. And yes, in this game, money is very important to have. You also do get a backpack. Like, what would a VR game be without a backpack? Now, it's not one of those backpacks where you can just pull out and actually look into it. This is just something that you just place things into just by putting your arm over to your back. You're also going to be getting a pickaxe and a gun. A really cool random tip with the gun is that you can actually use it to light torches. And by the way, you can upgrade pretty much everything I just mentioned and more. And now for the gameplay. Like I said before, this gameplay reminds me of No Man's Sky. And that's because in this game, just like No Man's Sky, you're going to be mining for resources. Now, you don't really need to get all specific like No Man's Sky. Any resource you get can be turned into cash, but there are some different resources that are worth way more. And what's crazy is you're actually able to mine through walls. Granted, not every wall, but some walls. And yes, that was a rock joke. And yes, so far I have just basically been talking about mining, but there's a lot more to this game, like creatures. Honestly, the creatures are pretty much the main reason you have a gun in this game. Yes, I know I am killing these creatures with my pickaxe, but that's not what you're supposed to do. I just wanted to test it out to see if I could do it. And myth busted, you can. Take it from me, the gun in this game is a much better weapon. Mostly because you don't run the risk of blowing yourself up, and of course because a gun is a long distance weapon. My favorite 2 things about this gun is that it has unlimited ammo and it is a multi-use weapon. Anytime that you need to reload, you just flick your wrist and it reloads the revolver. And instead of using the pickaxe to mine the rock clusters, you can just shoot them down with the gun. When it comes to the creatures in this game, there are many different creatures that I have encountered so far. You of course have these basic green ones, which are the first bugs that you're going to encounter in this game. These are usually a one-shot kill, and they usually drop some type of green gem. They also have these pink bugs that shoot back at you. And last last but not least, they have these things that I called a roly-poly. I first found this type of bug, it kind of freaked me out because it just popped out of nowhere. In this game, there are a lot of giant shells just lying around, but sometimes some of them can come alive and they're actual bugs. So remember to keep your eyes open. As of right now, these are all of the bugs or creatures that I know about playing this game, and I've played this game for maybe around 3 to 4 hours now, so these are all the bugs that I found, but there may be more the deeper you play this game. Now once you're finished dungeon crawling, the next thing you're going to want to do is claim your money. And that's super easy to do because that is the first machine that you see once you get out of the cave. So make sure while you're in the cave you get as much crystals or rocks as possible, so when you get out you can claim as much money as possible. Once you claim your money, you could then use this to upgrade your weapons and tools. And I know I didn't mention this earlier, but you can also buy up different plots of land that do different things. You can even go ahead and buy yourself a whole house. Now for me, there is one big problem with this system, and it's just that it does not work at all for me. I don't know why, but it does not work. As you can see here, I have almost $1,000 in my account, and I go to buy a book bag upgrade for $500. And after I purchase it, it says I have $0 in my account. Now, when we were playing online, my friend had no problem buying anything, but I still had that problem. So I had no idea why this was happening. By the way, shout out to real KUMAKEN. He live streams on Twitch, and that's who I was playing with. It was a blast playing with him, and his streams are super fun, so go check him out. And since we are talking about online, I'm gonna let you guys know right now that online is the best feature of this game. So the multiplayer in this game is just amazing. When it comes to co-op in this game, you can play with up to 4 different people. You also don't have to play with people you know, you can just join a random room. These rooms can be organized by languages or even game tags. So let's say you don't really want to play a serious game, you just want to just relax and have fun, you can just use the tags to find a server that's for that. When Kuma joined my room, I didn't even know, it was just really smooth, and it happened in an instant. Prior to connecting on this game, we were using the quest party to talk to each other, and we kept on doing that throughout the game. So I can't really rate the in-game communication. But something that I did find cool was when I shot this gun, Kuma was actually able to hear it across the map. When playing this game, I would 100% say you have to play it with someone else. I played it by myself before in the beginning stages of the game, and it honestly wasn't really as much fun as when I'm actually playing it with someone else. And I would say play with a close friend or just a friend in general, because it just becomes 10 times better. It feels like you really have each other's back, and all of the work is split basically equally. There were so many instances where both of us would just find different things that weren't in the open. These caves are so big that sometimes you tend to overlook things, so if there's another person there, it helps so much. Also, the more people there, the more loot you can carry out and the more money you can make. And not to mention, the faster you can mine. And that's because the further on you go in the game, the more you're going to be using your pickaxe, and honestly you're going to start needing to upgrade your pickaxe because the walls become stronger. And I do suggest you upgrade your pickaxe because when you mine, you can actually find some cool things. Sometimes you might not, but a lot of the times you do, and once you do, you feel great. And now we have reached the end of this video. So I'm going to give my final verdict. This game is a great game. It does have a few problems, but all of them can be fixed by some updates. I really do feel and think like the positives in this game greatly outweighs the negatives. I can see myself going back to this game with friends to just play. It's not super stressful, but it does have enough action in it to keep you engaged. And I'm a big fan of the resource collection and management. There are some other parts of this game that I don't want to spoil, so all I would have to say is to collect the comic books and make sure to actually look at them and try to read them because they are hilarious. They are so random and you don't expect them from a game like this. Anyway, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. It would really help the channel out. And if you didn't like the video, don't be afraid to put it down in the comments below and put a thumbs down. If you didn't like the video, don't be afraid to let me know why. Just put it in the comments below. It'll help me improve. As always, have a wonderful day or night. Peace out.